No, seriously, you think my life is so funny. Like, oh, let's make fun of the girl who took a risk and put herself out there creatively.
C XOXO was Camila's flop era, and that's what she's reflecting on here, essentially. The fact that people didn't get it and didn't like it when it came out.
It was really intended as a concept album. Before, even though it's uncomfortable and other people maybe are kind of like, what the hell is this? And it came from a very authentically curious place, and it brought me a lot of joy, so much inspiration, and so much growth.
Do you ever watch a pop star rebrand so hard you start wondering if they're confused too? Because that's kind of what the C XOXO era felt like to me. Camila Cabello, once known for romantic ballads and Latin pop love songs, dropped an album in 2024 that had her rapping in baby voices, name-dropping trauma, and posting blurry iPhone selfies like she just discovered Tumblr in 2023. And when the album came out, the reaction was complicated. Some people called it bold, others called it confusing, and a lot of people just didn't call it at all. But looking back now with some distance and context, C XOXO wasn't just a sonic experiment or a quirky pop moment. It felt like the musical equivalent of a personality crisis, like Camila was throwing everything at the wall. We're talking trap beats, glitch pop, confessional lyrics, chaotic visuals, just to see what might stick, and spoiler alert, not a lot did. Hello everybody, it's Nessi. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. In today's video, we're breaking down C XOXO, the album, the era, what it tried to be, what it actually ended up being, and what it says about Camila Cabello's ongoing search for an identity in an industry that keeps moving faster than she can rebrand. Because behind the music, the aesthetic, and the marketing, there's a real question worth asking. What happens when an artist keeps reinventing themselves but never quite land on who they are? So without further ado, let's dive in. So let's talk about C XOXO, a title that feels like it's trying really hard to be deep, but also cute, but also chaotic, which now that I think about might be the whole album in a nutshell. Camila Cabello has been in the public eye for over a decade. She started out on the X Factor at just 15 years old, and from there she skyrocketed into girl group fame with Fifth Harmony, a group that was essentially built in a lab by Simon Cowell. By the way, if you want me to make a video about Fifth Harmony, please let me know in the comments. They're basically the pettiest girl group to ever exist. Their story is so interesting and confusing and chaotic. Just going through the clips of Camila Cabello and the whole situation with Fifth Harmony was so entertaining. I would love to make a video about them. For a while, Camila's image was safe. She was the shy, quirky one, the one who smiled a lot, the one who cried on stage during emotional songs and wore crop tops with inspirational quotes on them. Then in 2016, she broke away from the group and went solo, giving us Havana, which was, let's be honest, a massive hit. It felt like she finally had her own sound. Latin pop with a bit of mainstream gloss and a personal story woven into it. She was Cuban Mexican, proud of it, and the music reflected that. And that version of Camila Cabello, the solo artist who wrote songs like Consequences, Real Friends,
I'm just looking for some real friends. All they ever do is let me down.
and Liar,
Oh no, there you go, making me a liar. Got me begging you for more.
felt like she was figuring herself out. But then something shifted. The music became less distinct, the visuals got more chaotic, and the public started asking a very important question. What is Camila Cabello trying to be? Because here's the thing, ever since her second album, she's gone through what I would call a personality blender. You know, when you take every popular aesthetic, throw it into a smoothie and hope it tastes good. One day she's doing spiritual captions and soft focused poetry. The next she's on TikTok doing hot mess content in a parking lot. And now with C XOXO, she's rapping in a baby voice and dressing like a scene kid in a music video shot on VHS. The whole rebrand just came out of nowhere. There was no gradual evolution. There was no lead-in project to bridge the gap. It was just like boom. One day she's soft and sad in a forest. The next she's dressed like she's about to perform at a warehouse rave somewhere in Europe. It's like when you change your entire aesthetic overnight and expect your friends not to notice, except instead of friends, it's millions of listeners, and instead of not noticing, we're very confused. And I think that's where the disconnect lies. Camila keeps reinventing herself, but she doesn't take us with her. So yeah, C XOXO wasn't just a new album, it was a full-blown identity reset. But the question isn't whether Camila can pull off a rebrand, it's whether we actually buy it. And once we dive into the album itself, you'll start to see why so many people didn't. Okay, let's talk about the actual music, because C XOXO isn't just a weird phase, it's a full-blown concept album. From the visuals, the cover art, and the scattered promo, it's clear she's going for a coming-of-age narrative. You know, messy girl in her 20s, figuring out life, maybe oversharing a little too much. Think diary entries, late-night text, crying on the bathroom floor, but make it fashion. And honestly, that could have worked. However, the songs don't really develop the story. They hint at it, but never land on anything solid. This was the first taste we got of the new Camila era, and to be fair, it did go viral on TikTok, mostly because of the music video, which was flashy, hyper edited, and weirdly hypnotic, as well as the choreography, which TikTok loved. They were dance challenges, meme edits, and people trying to decode the meaning of her glitchy eye patch mask thing. I don't know what to call it. So in terms of promotion, the song worked. It got attention, it started conversations, and looked like a hit. But when you actually listen to it, like the full song, not just the TikTok snippet, it kind of falls apart. The lyrics are repetitive, the chorus is so repetitive, the vocal effects are overwhelming.
Slow down, babe.
Which should have been a bold genre blending moment, but it ended up feeling awkward and overproduced, like two different visions smashed into one song. And that's the pattern. The album keeps throwing aesthetics at you, but none of it feels connected. It's like she's performing different versions of herself without ever introducing the real one. You go from Chanel No. 5
I got Chanel No. 5, I never survived to crime to crime. You watch 101, I know.
to 20-somethings to Dade County Dreaming
City girls, XOXO. I'm from
from the city where the streets ain't pretty.
And it starts to feel less like a listening experience and more like scrolling through someone's mood board at 3 a.m. Every song flirts with a different persona, but none of them feel lived in. None of them feel like Camila is actually there. And that's what makes the album frustrating. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it never became anything fully. It's not pop perfection, it's not experimental art, it's not introspective, it's not shallow. It's all of those things and none of them at the same time. So yeah, C XOXO isn't a complete disaster. It has moments, it has ambition, and visually it knows exactly what it wants to be, but musically it feels like an identity in flux. Like Camila knows she wants to say something, she just hasn't figured out how to say it in her own voice. And that brings us to the bigger question: who exactly is Camila Cabello trying to be? At this point, I feel like the biggest question isn't whether the album is good or bad. The real question is, who is Camila Cabello? Or who is she trying to be? Because every pop star has eras, right? But the thing about eras is they usually have a center. You know who the artist actually is, and the reinvention feels more like an extension of that identity, not a total detour from it. Take Ariana Grande for example. Each album has its own aesthetic, its own mood, but they're always rooted in what she's actually going through. Sweetener was soft and healing. Thank You Next was messy and emotional. Positions was grown and romantic, and even Eternal Sunshine, her most recent album, leaned into vulnerability and introspection, clearly reflecting the very public and very complicated place she was in without completely abandoning her sound or her essence. You could hear the evolution, but you still knew it was Ariana. She's not switching identities, she's evolving within her own. However, with Camila, there's a disconnect. Each reinvention feels like a hard reset, like she's wiping the slate clean, hoping nobody remembers who she was last time. And C XOXO is the most extreme version of that. So let's talk visuals. She's adopted this chaotic, downtown, I don't care what people think aesthetic, the bleached blonde hair and eyebrows, which is a stark contrast from what we're used to from her, the blurry selfies, the captions with no punctuation. But here's the thing, we know that's not who Camila has been, at least not publicly. This is the same artist who used to write sentimental ballads about growing up in Miami, missing her family, and falling in love in soft, slow motion. So how did we get to C XOXO? The short answer, she's trying on personas and hoping one of them sticks. Now, I don't think Camila is doing this on purpose. This doesn't feel like some evil marketing strategy where a team is forcing her into a box. This feels like someone who isn't sure where they fit, so they're experimenting out loud in real time with millions of people watching, which by the way is terrifying. But the risk is if people don't know who you are as an artist, they stop investing in the story and they stop checking for you, because if every album is a new character, there's nothing to hold on to. And unfortunately, C XOXO doesn't help clarifying that identity, it blurs it even more. That's it for today's video. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for staying till the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this one. And please let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think of C XOXO? Did it grow on you, or are you still trying to figure out who exactly Camila Cabello is supposed to be right now? now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll definitely be reading. I love your comments. And with that being said, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you very, very soon.